welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a will I buy it. With holiday season coming, there is just makeup raining down from the heavens, and I thought it would be fun to just go over them all with you and give you my opinions on whether I plan on picking them up or not. Now, I am trying to be more mindful on my purchases, so a lot of these will be a no, but I'm just going to kind of talk through my reasoning with you and discuss together on these new holiday releases, because there's a lot coming, and I'm sure it's just going to be a lot more from here on out. I try and do this video around every 2 weeks or so. So if you like new makeup release videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, but with all that, there's a lot to talk about. So let's just get started. All right, so first things first, last time I did this, we had 2 sneak peeks that, of course, they were revealed like the day after I posted my video. So I just want to go over them really quick. The first one being the Anastasia Beverly Hills Fall Romance palette. And I should probably scoot over so I can put up some photos. But that one is an easy pass for me. I'm a little disappointed with the color story. I think that there's an audience for this palette. I think it's a nice palette, but other than like that divine color and that kind of like iridescent purpley color, it's just not a palette I can see myself using. It's just too deep of a palette for me, and that's fine. Not everything's gonna be catered towards my skin tone and towards my preferences, but that one is an easy pass for me. I was secretly hoping for more though. The outside packaging was so beautiful that I wanted it to be something that I wanted to pick up, but it's not. And then the second thing was the Hourglass holiday palettes. Now, you know, the packaging's really nice, but one, just disappointed that they kind of really insinuated that there was going to be 4 palettes instead of 3 this year, but there's not. There's still 3 palettes, just 4 packaging types. So that was a little just weird and confusing. And second, like, I don't know, I'm kind of just not feeling it this year. There was at least one palette, the Snake palette, which I did say based on packaging was the one that I would like. That has 5 new shades out of 6. But the Leopard palette only has, I think, 2 new shades or 1 new shade, not very many. And then the Jellyfish, I think, was half and half. I think I mixed it up in a comment to someone and told them that the Jellyfish had 1 new one, but I was mistaken. I'm sorry to that person. It's actually the Leopard. However, you know, I watched someone's opinion on this and they said, if you have one of these palettes, you have them all. Like, once they're on your face, are you really going to be able to tell a difference between the two different Hourglass blushes from, say, the Elephant palette to the Jellyfish palette? Probably not. So I'm kind of over these palettes, quite honestly. I think some people are either all about them or some people are just kind of on my side of just, you know, we're seeing the same thing over and over again, and Hourglass needs to kind of search out of the box more other than just changing up the packaging. We're getting a little sick and tired of that. And on top of that, they raised their prices. They raised it to $90 US, and they're 105 euros here in France, which is where I live, which, by the way, does not convert. The euro's stronger than the dollar, so $90 US should probably be like 85 euros, but it's more. So I'm not about that. I won't be picking this up. As much as I'd love to, for the collector in me, I can spend 105 euros on something else, on 2 something else's, and that'll be good. Speaking of the $105, like, let's just talk about this, because this literally just dropped like 2 hours ago that I'm filming. I'm filming on Friday, and that is the Pat McGrath collection. I'd much rather put my money towards this. Now, I was waiting for this to release before filming because they said that they were going to release it on Friday. I told myself that whatever this is, you don't need it. Don't fall for the Pat McGrath holiday packaging. Don't do it. And then I saw the release, and okay, I'm 50-50 on this. Let me know what you think, but they're coming out with some trios of cheek products. So bronzer, blush, and highlight. Finally, now that Pat McGrath has bronzers, she's coming out with these trios. I think that's really smart. However, don't want it. Kind of feel the same way as I do about Hourglass. If you have one of their blushes, one of their bronzers, you have them all. I have 2 highlights and 1 bronzer and 2 blushes. I'm good. I don't need any more. I'm sure some of these are repeat shades. I'm pretty sure even the face palette that has like my skin tone in mind has the bronzer that I have. So I'm just not interested in that. Then they are coming out with these eye and face palettes. I think that's interesting. I think that's innovative. The packaging's really pretty. I love the theming. Pat McGrath knocks it out on holiday packaging every time. This, I don't need a face palette, so that's not interesting me. There are 9 pans with 2 cheek products. Really pretty. I'm not like mad at it. This is the Bijou Brilliance collection, by the way. So the 2 face and eye palettes are gonna retail for $76. And then the little trios will be $52. Yeah, I don't like that price point. So trios are a pass for me. Eye and cheek products, pass for me. They're also coming out some colored mascara for $34. Red, blue, and green, pass for me. However, these eyeshadow palettes, these Quints that they came out with last holiday, I picked up 2 of those, and she's coming out with 4 of them. And I think she knew that a lot of people liked those because I liked them. I love them. I thought it was a really great formula. They are shimmer heavy. I can't tell from the photo just yet, but it does look like these are still pretty shimmer heavy. Last year they were 25. I think they were 25. This year it's saying 36. So I'll have to double check that. 36 is kind of a lot for a Quint. Hopefully they have a bundle because I do want all 4. And if I do pick up all 4, I'm at least going to get 2 of these then. But if they have a bundle deal, I'll probably get all 4. And I have a feeling they probably will. This, do they have a release date? No release date yet. So I don't know when this is coming out. Like I said, they just announced the collection today. So unfortunately, like this one got me. I didn't want it to, but it did. And I think that the Quints are going to be probably the most popular item if I had to guess, because that's what was last year too. I'm glad that they didn't come out with like a limited edition highlighter that's overplayed. I'm over that. Like that's what I was thinking they were going to do. And I wasn't going to sign up for that. I have 2 or 3 of those that I really don't reach for. So I'm happy with what she came out with, but at the same time, my wallet is not happy. Let's move on. Next up, I have this foundation here. This is the Futuristic Skin Tint Serum SPF 20 by Estee Lauder. $53, launching on October 1st. You know, I like Estee Lauder foundations. This is kind of reminding me of the Double Wear Nude foundation that they're discontinuing. However, this comes with like the little dropper style. I don't like it. I am swimming in foundations right now. So this is one that's like gonna stay on my radar. I am gonna put it on my wish list because eventually I kind of do a series ranking all the foundations that I have from one brand. I've done Chanel, I've done Dior, and I do eventually want to do Estee Lauder because I have a few Estee Lauder foundations. So I think once I get to that, because I'm currently in the process of doing Maybelline and then I have NARS. So I'll get this one eventually when I'm ready to do my Estee Lauder ranking. But right now it is not something, and I don't think it's going to be something that anyone's going to be running out to get. Comes in 30 shades, but kind of just like a poor time to launch foundations. We had a ton of foundations at the beginning of the year. I think everyone's foundationed out, and with all the exciting holiday releases, I think that this is going to get overlooked. Next I have, this is from KVD, and this is the Dazzle Gel Hyper Metallic Vegan Eyeshadow. And it's going to be available at Ulta September 24th. $24 each. I don't need this. I don't use products like this. I don't really like metallic eyeshadows. I much prefer like an iridescent, sparkly. I like the glitter and I like the sparkle. The metallics, no, not for me. I mean, pretty colors, like again, blue, purple, green, like it, don't love it, wouldn't use it. So that is an easy pass. And then I have a fragrance. I love fragrance, as you can see. And this one I felt like was a good one to talk about. I know not everyone's always interested in fragrance, but this is the Replica Under the Stars. And Replica is a pretty well-known line, so I thought I would talk about it. This is available now, and it is the Under the Stars. It's supposed to be a woodsy scent, so I don't know. I do have Beach Walk. I love that one, and I really want to get Date Night. By the Fireplace is a really popular one, but I don't typically love like those fiery scents. I also heat my home with a fireplace, like it's kind of old school here. So I don't need to smell like a fireplace. Like I naturally in wintertime smell like a fireplace. Moving on, back to this. So base notes are oud, leather, and ladinium. I don't know what that is. Middle notes are cypriol essence, virginal cedarwood essence, and top notes are black pepper essence, cinnamon leaf essence. And it's $127 for 100 ml, $64 for 31 ounces. I need to smell this. I need to pick it up, but I am intrigued. I love this like Replica line. They have such a great way of marketing because I love the idea of like the scent memory of being under the stars. That's what gets me, I think, and why so many people, including myself, love this, because I just think that they have a really unique and popular way to market themselves that really just gets you, because I think more about the moment than I do about the scent. Another fragrance kind of collection is Tom Ford finally announced their, the Soleil Neige collection. They always come out with some kind of Soleil Neige collection for holiday. So this is gonna have the fragrance as well as a highlighter, a quad, and some lip glosses. There were some years, especially their first drop, I think that the Soleil Neige collection really intrigued me and I wanted it, but Tom Ford, just like Pat McGrath, keeps releasing the same quads over and over again, and I'm kind of just over it. And they're not impactful enough to really tell a difference. At least with Pat McGrath, like you're getting good pigment, like you can really build it up. This is meant to be like a wash of color. It's meant to give like that Chanel kind of look, that like simple, sophisticated, elegant look. So there's only so many ways you can like do that. And they're not getting my money this year. That's all I have to say. More holiday releases, Charlotte Tilbury. This is coming soon. It looks like, I don't have too much info on it. It's like really just like in the cusps of being released. So to me, it looks like they're coming out with 2 eyeshadow palettes that are 9 pans. Interesting, we haven't seen that before from her in that really pretty packaging, like the Pillow Talk quad that came out last year for holiday. I picked that up. It had 2 blushes and 2 highlights. And then it looks like she's doing the same kind of duo, the Film Star Bronze and Glow with a highlight and a blush. If anything, I'd pick up that, but I don't need it. Like I already have 2 blushes in that quad of blushes, so I definitely don't need it. The eyeshadow, 9 pans, they look pretty, but honestly, like I'm not drawn to the color stories. I much prefer the Pat McGrath ones. So these are kind of like an easy pass for me. I'm surprised because Charlotte Tilbury usually gets me every year and the packaging is beautiful, but this is like not a hard pass. Like, oh, if I had the extra money, I would purchase it. This is just like, I don't know. I don't even want it for some reason. You'll have to let me know what your thoughts are, but I'm kind of just over it. I don't know, that's weird. This one I do want. This is the Huda Beauty Pressed Easy Bake Powder. I think this was really smart of Huda Beauty. This is not a holiday launch. This is just a new addition to their lineup. So they basically took their really popular Easy Bake Loose Powder. Even I have that powder, and they made it a pressed. Genius. Love it. I much prefer a pressed powder over a loose powder, so I'm really excited about this. I am going to try and just hold off purchasing this until I get through my loose powder because I don't need both, and it's going to take me a long time to get through that pressed powder because it's a very thick powder, but I will be replacing it with the pressed. I like it a lot. They have all their normal shades, including that really, really popular cherry pink shade. So love it. I'm really happy about this launch. It's not something that like is immediately on my list. Like I said, they probably won't be including this in their Black Friday sale, but it is something I will definitely be picking up. Another thing that's just not exciting to me is Kylie Cosmetics is releasing their Power Plush Longwear Concealer. This is coming out September 27th. 3 years in the making, 40 shades. I do not have a price, but I used to purchase a lot from Kylie Cosmetics, like in the beginning, but I'm kind of over the hype. I actually did have a few of her concealers and I really liked them. This seems like it's a new formula since it's 3 years in the making, but I'm just not interested. I am in concealer overload. Like I think I pretty much doubled my concealer collection recently, testing out all the new concealers, and this is not one that I'm even a little bit interested in. It doesn't have any claims, so I have no idea other than just the name. I'm assuming it's going to be longwear since that's in the name, but I don't know the finish or anything like that. The next thing I wanted to talk about was this Essence collection. Essence is dropping quite a few collections. Actually, I might be mixing them up with Catrice. We'll talk about that next. But Essence is launching this Pink is the New Black collection. Super cute. Don't need it. Didn't Wet n Wild do this collection too? I want to say like 2020 they came out with like this whole pH, because that's what this is. It's pH color changing lipsticks, a blush, lip balm, a sponge, some stickers, press on nails. But the lip gloss, the lipstick, and the blush are color pH changing. And I'm pretty sure Wet n Wild came out with that a couple years ago. You'll have to correct me. I'm pretty sure though that they already came out. This is not a new concept. Is the packaging cute? Yes. But I don't need it. I do not need this whatsoever. Let me find that collection to see if I'm going crazy, if that was Essence or Catrice. It is Essence. Okay, so Essence is also coming out with this Mickey Mouse collection. And they're coming out with eye palettes, mascara, a setting spray, a brush bag. I do not have the release date or any info on prices. Not for me. This is cute, but I've never really been. There's false lashes. There's like the little Mickey Mouse headband. That's super cute to like hold your hair back when you're washing your face and stuff, but I don't really go for like this cutesy packaging. It's not me. Very cute, like for collectors. I like Mickey Mouse. I love Disney stuff, but my heart does not yearn to own this or collect this. So that's also going to be an easy pass. Talking about Disney, I'm about to put my foot in my mouth. Colourpop already launched the Haunted Mansion collection. I don't know why I say the things I do and then I come back and completely contradict myself, but they came out with the Haunted Mansion collection, and this I did a double take on. I'm not going to pick it up. I don't need it. I don't feel like fighting with people for this collection because I'm sure it's sold out super fast already. But they're coming out with an eyeshadow palette, Supershock eyeshadows, some lip colors, as well as a glow-in-the-dark body glitter. I think this is cute. I actually quite like the palette. I don't realistically like really trying to talk myself out of this. I don't know how much use I would get out of this, but it is cute. I like the colors. I actually like the front. I guess I'm not contradicting myself too much because I'm not going to pick it up, but I do see the appeal in this one, and at least I like the color story a little bit more with it. Let's now talk about some indie palettes that are releasing. So Ensley Reign Cosmetics is coming out with the Harvest Moon palette. This looks beautiful, and the problem with Ensley Reign is that I have their Midwinter Dream palette and I love it, but that is a lighter palette. They recently came out with their Flower Moon palette and now this palette. The problem that just always pulls me back is these are like $90 palettes, which I understand the price point because you have a ton of duochromes and multichromes in here, but the mattes are just too dark for me and my style, again, going back to like the ABH palette. So I know I wouldn't get any use out of the mattes, and that's what's holding me back from purchasing these palettes, but I do want to get your opinion on this because there's like a part of me that still wants it. This is one where like if I had just unlimited amounts of money, I'd purchase it and just not use the mattes, but I really want to love all the shades in here. I'd rather spend $90 on some singles that are special shades that I'll love than get a palette where I'm not using every single shade. But the packaging is really cute. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. And I don't know. If it was like on sale, if this was like $60 or even $70, I'd consider it. But $90 plus I have to pay for shipping, and then I have to pay for customs on top of that once it gets to Europe, which is going to be probably like another $25. It's just too much for me. However, I do have to say, like, this is really, really beautiful and I like it a lot. I like it better than the Flower Moon. So I just want to hear your thoughts, like if you plan on picking this up. And then the other indie palette that I saw is the Beaute Bar Recently De-Influenced Eyeshadow Palette. This is launching September 20th. This is super cute, but I did get the basic witch palette already. It has not shipped yet, and they are a little bit similar. I love the theme though. I think it's so cute. I love all the shade names, and if I had expendable income, like I would get this over the Ensley Reign for sure. I like the color story a little bit more, but these two rows of like reds, that orange, is not really, that's what's stopping me. The 9-pan, like more on the left side of the palette with the purples, I would be fine with that, but I know I won't get too much use out of the reds. So I'm also gonna skip this, and I'm happy that I chose to get the basic witch palette instead because that is definitely more my style. I also haven't tried the formula from Beaute Bar. The basic witch is gonna be my first one. So if it's like a really good formula, like a solid formula, I would maybe reconsider this, but for now I don't necessarily want to take the chance. Now we do have some highlighters releasing. Of course we do. We have quite a few. Let's first talk about the Giorgio Armani. This is available now in Europe, supposedly $55, and it is their Luminous Silk Glow. I don't know why this doesn't look cute to me. The packaging's okay, but kind of basic. Like it's like, oh, holiday, throw some gold sparkle, groundbreaking. That's what I'm getting from this. So this is just a quick pass for me. The next one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. And this looks pretty. I mean, it looks better than the Giorgio Armani, but I'm still not going to purchase it. The shade is Sun Idol, and it is the Glow Seeker highlighter. It is a baked powder gel hybrid formula. I do love those formulas. I do not have a price or a release date on it though, but it is coming for holiday. I can't see what the outside packaging looks like, but inside packaging, like I can tell this is going to be a solid, good highlighter. It's just, I don't need another highlighter, and I'm happy kind of where my highlighter collection is right now. But I can tell, like I said, I can tell it's going to be a nice highlight. If you're gonna get it, I don't think that you'll regret it just based on the photos. The last highlighter I have is this Dolce & Gabbana this is also collection. So it has the illuminating face powder, $56, liquid lipsticks, $42, and a mascara, $38. It's available now. And I will have to say this highlighter, the packaging, just the embossing, all of it, this got me the most out of all the highlighters. But I'm not going to purchase it. The heart, it's really pretty. It's really pretty, but I'm going to hold strong on just not needing other highlighters. If someone wants to gift this to me, great. I'd love that. And I'd love looking at it. But there's just other things I think I'd rather put my money towards. Again, like I'm kind of just like in a single eyeshadow kind of obsession right now. I don't need this highlight, and just knowing how long it takes to get through a highlight. But this is on my list. I wonder if this is limited edition or not. $56 isn't that bad, but it's also not great. This is the Pat McGrath highlight that I was expecting to see, so I don't know why I said I'd pass on the Pat McGrath highlighter, but this Dolce & Gabbana one really just has me questioning if I need to eat this week. So those are some highlights. I have just a few more things to talk about. While we're talking about luxury, let's talk about this other Tom Ford collection. I don't think this is their holiday collection. This is their Cafe Rose Makeup Collection 2024. So this is going to be available in January. This is early, but this looks pretty, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. It has lipsticks. I believe that these are some same shades. They're not new shades in new packaging. It comes with a blush and then a fragrance. The aesthetic of this is calling my name. I love it. I love this so much. This is luxury to me. This one is also questioning all of my priorities in life. I for sure won't get the fragrance, even though I want it. The blush though, if it comes out in January, that might have to be my birthday present to myself because it just looks so pretty. Do I need it? No. That's just definitely something that I want. Let me know what you think. But for some reason, this collection, the whole vibe of it, I'm really, really loving. Dior has 2 collections coming out. So we have the holiday collection at 2023. We have 2 blushes, 2 quints. That's usually what they come out with, right? And then is there anything else on this? Oh, and then there's also some to their Backstage line, 2 9-pans for their Dior Backstage, and some lip products. We have like special packaging. They also have their holiday palettes that kind of look like little clutches, which are a quint, and then like a little face palette type thing, some polish, some liquid lipstick. There's a lot for this. It's supposed to be coming out October 13th in Asia, no dates for US and Europe. This is okay, but Dior Holiday for some reason has never really like clutched at my heartstrings. I do like this one lipstick packaging with the gold kind of foil with the white background, but I don't really feel like just dropping that amount of money for a lipstick case. You don't even get the lipstick with it, so that's probably going to be a pass for me. The Backstage, I'm not interested at all, and these quints, the color story doesn't get me. The blushes are pretty, but they look very similar in color to the Chanel Equinox blushes that came in, both the coral shade and the mauve shade, like perfect dupes for them, and I picked one of those up, so I don't need the blush. This is pretty though, and they are also expanding their, I want to say their Miss Dior fragrance, right? Let me find it. Yeah, so this is their new limited edition collection releasing in Asia. I don't know why they release in Asia first when they're a French brand, but here it is. Pre-release date is 12th of September. And I don't have anything other than the picture, but it's supposed to be inspired by the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. Miss Dior is one of my favorite fragrances. I've gone through 2 full-size 3.7 ounce bottles of that fragrance. Considering the amount of fragrance, like that tells you how much I love that perfume. So they're coming out with this kind of eye palette type thing that they did with the beige Mitza. I don't like that. And then a quint, as well as some lip shades for this. I did buy some from the first collection, the Mille Fiori collection, and this is very similar. I do prefer this packaging. It's a little bit more watercolor, less embroidery, but it's too similar to the other one for me to even consider it. There's also a candle like last year. So there's nothing really unique to this that makes me like really, really want it. If I had to choose between this and the Tom Ford, I'd pick the Tom Ford. So that's where I'm at with that. Talking about holiday though, there are just like a lot of sets that are releasing. I see some from Rare Beauty. I think this is genius with the 2 highlighters and the blush. I love these sets every year. This is something that I do prioritize, not from Rare Beauty, but in general, because you can try a lot of different colors and have less product. I just like having less product. Like minis are great. I'm never gonna get through a full size of one of these Rare Beauty blushes or highlighters. I'd rather have 2 different colors and test them both out than have one full size. So I think that's great. I see one from Pharmacy, which is they do this every year. This is their trio of cleansing balms. So you have warm vanilla chai, wild raspberry tea, and chamomile rose latte. Love the flavors of that, but I am swimming in makeup remover. I don't need this, but if I was going to get something, like this is something that would interest me because I love little trinkets like that. The next one I see is the Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream with the fragrance. Love that too. Don't necessarily love that it has, I think, the shampoo. I wouldn't want that, but the other things, great. It has the full size Boom Boom Cream as well as a travel size with the fragrance. That's a travel size. Love that. I would consider picking that up. I think these make great gifts. And then a 5-piece of the Laneige sleeping mask with 5 different scents. I much prefer these minis over the full size. The full size takes so long and the minis actually take like a reasonable amount of time. Plus you get all these cute flavors. I just think that it's a much better option in my opinion and something I'd much rather pick up. So let me know what holiday sets you have your eyes on. There's probably way too many to ever talk about, but let's move on. I have just 2 more things that I have on my list here. The first one being the Revolution Bright Light Face Glow. Makeup Revolution late to the game. This is going to be $12. Comes in 3 shades, I think, 3 shades. Available September 6th. So this is already out online and then it'll be in Target in January 2024. You know, we've been seeing these dupes everywhere for the Charlotte Hollywood Flawless Filter, which I decluttered. So I won't be picking this up because I just don't like products like this. I know everyone's really loving the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I'll probably watch some videos to see how it compares to the e.l.f. This is just not a product that I like or I use. I didn't use the Charlotte Tilbury one. I'm not going to use this one, but I can see a lot of people being really excited about it. And then very last up on my list, I know this video is probably pretty long. Expect them to be long because holiday is only starting. This is the Bobbi Brown Holiday Collection. Sets will be released in 2 phases in October and November. And I'm excited about this. Bobbi Brown has been hit and miss for me. I tried, the very first eyeshadow palette I tried was the Jade Stone last holiday, and I hated it. I'm pretty sure I ranked it worst eyeshadow palette of 2022. So I won't be getting the eyeshadow palette in here, but it looks like they have some trios with bronzer, blush, and highlight. I did pick up one of their trios that came out during summer. I love that. They also have just kind of like a basic 5-pan with neutrals. I don't need that, but I did pick up their holiday palette last year, the Day and Light palette that had all neutrals, and I love that palette a lot, very similar to this. So I do like that. And then it also looks like they're gonna have some holiday sets with like their Vitamin Enriched Face Base, that makes sense, as well as some new lipstick shades. And then like they're kind of showing these pictures for these little eyeshadow duos, and that is what I'm most interested in because it's their baked eyeshadows that they usually have in singles. The Luxe eyeshadows. That's what they're called. They usually come in singles and they're usually quite pricey. They're like $35 or $40. I have 2 of them, Liquid Mercury and High Octane. I love both of them. I like the color story, especially like the pinky one, like the light pink shimmer with the kind of rosy taupe beige color. But depending on the price of this, I could see myself picking up all 3 because it is a fantastic formula. And if it's a good price, I would consider it. I know not everyone is probably excited about that launch, but I kind of am, and I'm holding out to see prices and stuff like that. But that's all that I have for you today. Let me know down below like what your just attack plan is with holiday and how you plan on just holding yourself back, or are you just gonna do a free-for-all? Just what is your strategy when it comes to making sure you don't give these companies all of your money and just like a reasonable amount, because sometimes it can be hard and we need to support each other in the comments because we don't need, as much as we want all the makeup, we don't need all the makeup. And that's what I remind myself when I look at these, that just because they're shiny, pretty things does not mean that you need it to just look at it, like put some glitter on your hand and call it a day. That's been my strategy, but I'd love to hear what yours is. That's where I'm gonna leave you all today though. I hope you're having a great one and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.